Open innovation is a very interesting idea. Part of this discussion is about co-creation, or co-developing new products with customers. This means involving customers in the development of new products or services in active roles. This is a very popular idea, and it seems like everyone is for it. But is everyone doing it? And more importantly, is it always beneficial? These are the questions we set out to answer with our research. Existing research does not provide a clear answer. On one hand, customer co-development is seen as being in line with customer orientation and with the growing trend of customer empowerment, brought about, for example, by the emergence of social network sites in which customers may actually want to be involved in developing new products. At the same time, there are arguments against involving customers in new product development. They are believed to lack the specialist knowledge and competence needed. They may not be able to evaluate new concepts when they lack a familiar reference, and they may not be willing or able to think outside their current needs. So on one hand, firms would like to know what customers want so that they can fulfill these wants, but on the other hand, there's the dilemma that customers may not really know what they want. Some people believe that the usefulness of involving customers in new product development depends upon the degree of innovativeness, ranging from incremental to radical. Incremental innovation is concerned with small improvements to existing products or ideas, while radical innovation is about creating something entirely new. Some research suggests that it's a good idea to involve customers in incremental innovation, while other research suggests the opposite, that customers should be involved in radical innovation. So there's really no clear indication about when customer co-development might be useful. What we do know is that customer co-development can be both costly and time-consuming, and the outcomes may not be successful. So it is very important to understand when it works and when it doesn't. In our research, we decided to take into account a dimension that existing research has not considered, namely the dimension from utilitarian to hedonic innovation. Utilitarian innovation delivers new technology or functionality, while hedonic innovation delivers new meanings through new sensorial or emotional benefits or symbolic value. Both utilitarian and hedonic innovation can be incremental or radical. An example of an incremental utilitarian innovation is a longer life battery for mobile phones. A light-emitting diode, based on advanced technological research on the ability of semiconductor diodes to emit electroluminescent light, is an example of a radical utilitarian innovation. Offering mobile phones in different colors is an example of incremental hedonic innovation. But designing household objects to look like people or animals is a good example of a radical hedonic innovation. We surveyed managers of 132 firms in the Netherlands over the phone. We interviewed 2 managers in each of the firms. First, we talked to project managers and asked them about how a specific new product or service had been developed, including whether customers had been actively involved. We also asked them questions about the nature of their new products or services to determine where they were situated on the spectrums from incremental to radical and from utilitarian to hedonic. We also talked with business managers in the same firm and asked them how well the specific new products or services had performed on the market. By talking with 2 different managers separately, we were able to overcome the threat of common method bias. We conducted regression analyses using our data. What we found is that by itself, involving customers in new product development does not contribute to market success. This seems to contradict much of the hype around co-creation. When we added utilitarian radicalness and hedonic radicalness to our research model as moderators, we got some very interesting findings. Our data indicated that customer co-development contributes positively to market success when utilitarian radicalness is high, but negatively when utilitarian radicalness is low. For hedonic radicalness, we found the opposite, namely that when hedonic radicalness is high, customer co-development contributes negatively to market success, but when hedonic radicalness is low, the contribution is positive. Once we had these findings, what we really wanted to know was what happens when you have combinations of utilitarian radicalness and hedonic radicalness. This is a classic 2x2 question. So we added the 3-way interaction of customer co-development Utilitarian radicalness, and Hedonic radicalness to our model. What we found out is that our 2x2 is curved. So, the practical implications are that when deciding whether to involve customers in the development of new products, it's very important to take into account the degree of radicalness of the product to be developed, as well as whether the radicalness will be utilitarian, hedonic, or both. When developing a new product with a high degree of utilitarian radicalness, meaning that the product will deliver radically new technology or functionality, our data indicate that involving customers is a good idea. When developing a product with a high degree of hedonic radicalness, meaning that the product will deliver radically new meanings through new sensorial or emotional benefits or symbolic value, our data indicate that involving customers is not a good idea. For new products intended to deliver both radical utilitarian and radical hedonic innovation, our data indicate that customer code development is beneficial due to its positive contribution to the utilitarian dimension. So, when firms intend to develop innovations that are high in both utilitarian and hedonic radicalness, they can be advised to engage customers in co-creation only in the development of the utilitarian aspects of the new product, whereas when it comes to the hedonic aspects, they should not involve customers.